Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. It is indeed an honour today to stand and support this motion by my colleague, the member for Carleton, in asking that April 9th be declared Vimy Ridge Day. It is historically known as Canada's coming out, I think, that we really truly came of age in the international community as being able to step up and support the Commonwealth and our allies in a war that at this point had gone on over a couple of years before the Battle of Vimy Ridge and the historic alteration that made to World War I. I want to welcome the veterans that are here in the gallery today watching the proceedings. You know, Vimy Ridge, in marking its 100th anniversary this year, certainly brings a very poignant, realization that we have a lot to be thankful for, and many, many people to thank for that. Canadians led this battle to success and had captured more ground, prisoners, and artillery pieces than any other previous British offensive in World War I. And that came at a great cost, Madam Speaker. Of the 100,000 plus soldiers, we had suffered tremendous casualties, over 10,600 casualties actually, of which 3,600 were fatal. And during the time preparing for this battle, soldiers lived in not so nice or friendly circumstances, with knee-deep in mud, rodents, rats, lice. It wasn't pretty, and yet they persevered. Throughout World War I, Mr. Speaker, or Mrs. Speaker, Madam Speaker, our own population afforded 650,000 men and women to uniform to fight in our battles. We lost 66,000 Canadian lives, and over 170,000 were injured. Vimy Ridge was distinctly a Canadian triumph, and a grateful France granted land to Canada, where the Canadian National Vimy Memorial sits atop Hill 145. This tremendous monument is inscribed with the names of 11,285 Canadian soldiers who were listed as missing and presumed dead during the length of World War I. Imagine the closure that many families never got to receive because their loved ones' remains were never repatriated home. It serves to remind all of us the cost at which world peace comes. And 100 years later, we stand committed to never forget the sacrifice of so many. And I've often said in recent years that Canadians, being a humble lot, have evolved from carrying their patriotism in their hearts to now, more openly, wearing it on our sleeves. The pride that we hold of our Canadian armed forces participating in such a battle and really turning the tide of a war that's taken and took so many lives is something that we all are proud of. In my short 55 years, I've seen the Remembrance Day services grow. I've seen the conversations around veterans become more prominent. And as importantly, we are recognizing that those who gave the supreme sacrifice not only need to be remembered and honored, but those who were injured and came back have suffered tremendously as well. War has incredible consequences, not just for the countries whose unfortunate fate was to host war, but also to the men and women who've had to participate. And I think as a society, we need to continue to acknowledge and appreciate what our men and women who have served have sacrificed on our behalf. My grandfather, Madam Speaker, served in World War I and World War II. Not long ago, my aunt reminded me, when I asked what rank he achieved, she told me that he ascended to the rank of sergeant several times. And I thought, how the heck does that happen? And it turns out, Madam Speaker, that during the Second World War, my grandfather desperately wanted to get back overseas, but they were only taking younger men. And so he would turn in his stripes, wait for the list to come out to see if he was put on it to go overseas. And when he was declined and kept here, he got his stripes back. And the mailman would often joke with my grandmother when she brought the letter and said, "What rank is he writing to you from?" Because he turned in his stripes several times trying to get back overseas during World War II. Madam Speaker, we owe a debt, and the beautiful monument at Vimy Ridge is a reminder that we should never forget. I'm a member of Branch 69 Legion, and in what we call the Blue Room, there's a beautiful mural of the Vimy Ridge Monument, and it serves as a constant and daily reminder of the sacrifices that were made at this battle. And the Vimy Ridge Foundation is to be commended for the work that it carries ongoing, for helping us to remember this 100th anniversary in a very special way, and helping us convey to our veteran population that what they did is not forgotten. I think that we all appreciate my colleague, the member from Carleton, for bringing this motion forward. It is a tremendous opportunity for many of us to stand and speak to the memorial that we all have come to know. And I know that my colleague from Fredericton-Hanwell, who has seconded this motion, has spoken to the fact that many people don't know about the Battle of Vimy Ridge any longer. And that's something we all need to think about. We've been given an opportunity to highlight it and to show people that they need to be aware of this very special occasion coming up on April the 9th. That a battle on Easter Monday in 1917 is something that we all need to remember. And we all need to be grateful for the sacrifices that were made. So, Madam Speaker, I don't need to prolong this. I am a big supporter of our veterans. I do what I can to make sure that I am involved in activities that can benefit veterans. I hope I can continue to do that. But more importantly, I want to convey my personal gratitude to our veterans from the First World War, the Second World War, the conflicts after that, and certainly our modern-day conflicts. And to carry a message of tremendous respect to the men and women who serve our Royal Canadian Forces now and into the future, and most certainly from the past. Thank you, Madam Speaker.